We're headed that way. What I am going to read to you is the abridged version of Letters from the Desert, which is available for free on my website, in an unabridged form on the website. 11 November 2432. Dear Serena, hey Ann, I don't know if you'll ever read this, but I'm writing it anyway. Well, maybe someday, maybe. If I am counting the days correctly, you are still deployed somewhere in Central Asia. I'm guessing things are still pretty hot around Chengdu, though there were rumors of a pushing up to Dan Hong. I just hope you're safe and holding together. I don't know if you heard, I didn't hold together. Well, entirely, actually. But then you always were the spotless one. You'll do better. I need to believe you'll shake off the war when you finally get home. I'm counting the days until you're done. Remember your promise and don't you dare sign up again. I will storm out of this desert riding the Furies if you break your word. Yeah, that's right. I said the desert. The desert. The great waste of sand stretching from the borders of the Pacific Union all the way to the Mississippi River. Decided to take a walk. It was that or stay at the hospital, and I couldn't take another day. They regrew my leg and arm, itched like hell. I couldn't let them fix my head. They wanted to take away the memories, and those are all I have left of Joaquin. I'd rather live with this pain. The psychs just didn't get it. I know you do. I've been out here 2 months and 6 days. I found signs of other camps, of other seekers. A few dead bodies scoured clean by sand and vultures. Mostly, though, I find fragments of broken tools and indentations in a dune where a tent had been in the previous night or two. I wonder if they're chasing stories of furies and divas, or if, like me, they're seeking impossible answers to questions not yet formed. Keep your nose clean, little sister. Love, Beatrice. 26 November 2432. Dear Serena, the desert is boring. Sand. So much sand. Do you know how many shapes there are for grains of sand? One. So it seems to me. Scientists might disagree, but that's all I see. Endless oceans of sand under endless ocean of stars. Last week I saw a lizard. I had a staring contest with it and lost. So bored. And now I will start another night of walking across more desert, more sand. What was I thinking? Where are those flippin' mountains? I wish something different would happen. Love, Peter. 4 December 2432. Dear Serena, the day I cursed the endless sand and boredom, I met a band of furies. Be careful what you wish for. I was slow pulling up camp that evening, not looking forward to another night of walking across endless dunes. Just as I finished packing my gear, I hear a rumble of the sand all around me. I thought there was an earthquake. Then sand fountained up behind me, and I turned to see a giant scorpion emerge. He picked me up gently in one claw and dragged me down into his lair. Didn't even have time to pull my knife. It's a good thing it only wanted to say hello, because it would have been hard to write this letter inside the belly of that beast. I know now why the Furies have remained so elusive. The North American Alliance has been searching for these experiments gone bad since the end of the Egyptian Wars. That's 53 years now. Their bunkers are flippin' spotless. Why, the only one of the bunch that looks remotely human, assuming you disregard their purple hair and skin, tells me they have a network of these bunkers across the desert and up into the mountains. The bands wander between them mostly to keep from getting bored. Aside from flying the scorpion, there's a sentient bucket of water and a giant boulder that did minesweeping back in '66. Fly says the bucket is their computer. I just make a point of not confusing it with my water rations. Says those mad scientists in the Alliance were flippin' creative and mad. Don't forget that part. Fly says it's what happens when people treat genes like kids' building blocks and throw away the recommended combinations. says it's hubris to think they could outdesign evolution. As he claims, only the sanest of the Furies remain, the most dangerous having been put down like rabid beasts during the Great Speech. When I ask what that was, Z just grins and says, internal affairs. I don't think I'm a prisoner. They do insist on escorting me the rest of the way across the desert. Fly says the bucket of water wants to help me find the one I'm seeking. Nice trick given I'm chasing a myth. At least it won't be boring. Love, Peter. December 15th, 2432. Dear Serena, Joaquin would have been 27 today. I'm missing. It hurts. My chest tightens as it tries to keep my heart from escaping, leaping out of me and off to wherever he is, if there's anywhere to be. I just wish the nightmares would stop. Even now when I shut my eyes, I see him. Sometimes he's laughing or telling a story. Other times I'm watching him explode and the world turn red as I fall down, pain filling every fiber of my being, and looking over to see just parts, and I don't know if that's my leg or his. Well, Fly doesn't seem too disturbed by the screams when I wake up. Just sits with me, offers a swig of something that might be charitable to call moonshine. At least the bird numbs the other pain. Once when we were on guard duty, I asked Joaquin if he believed in anything. This was early in our service. We'd been matched, but didn't yet know if we could be a team. So we were on guard duty, out way on the edge of nowhere late at night, with nothing but stars, river, and trees. Mount Rainier was hidden in the clouds far to the north. So there we were, with nothing to do but talk and keep each other from falling asleep. Get to know one another, as the sergeant put it. Joaquin said the only thing he believed in were Furies and Divas. I know it sounds like a joke, right? But he was flippin' serious. He came from a small farm on the edge of the desert where sometimes things walked out of the ocean of sand looking for supplies. He said they just traded and maybe told a few stories. He said Divas had wisdom and would answer any question you asked. Said you had to be careful, though. You might not like the answer, and there was no forgetting it once you heard it. The Furies knew about war, vengeance, and justice. It was best to lie low if you hurt anyone when they were around, even if your crime was committed years ago. Especially then. He told me so many stories that night and many nights to come, like myths of old about gods or something. Maybe that's what he thought they were. Though I must say that Fly is a bit lacking in the godhood department and the bucket of water. Who besides some luckless dying of thirst is going to worship that? The giant scorpion, on the other hand, well, I can see how Z would put the fear of something into a soul. Stay safe, little sister. Love, Peter. 6 January 2433. Dear Serena, we stopped to trade at a small settlement on the edge of the salt plains. It was still desert, but that transition zone where things grow in the red dirt. Fly says there's more groups up in the mountains, humans living on the frontiers between nations. There was this girl named Dora. Tall, strong, reminded me a little of you, the same dark hair and almond eyes. Her skin is darker and she's probably got 3 inches on you. You wouldn't have known this girl wasn't all human. Turns out she's half Fury. I don't even know how that works. She said the Divas know ways. I didn't ask too many questions about her parents. I just hope a giant scorpion wasn't involved because, ew. I wonder what the genetic scan would show. Dora asked if I was one of the Furies. She seemed a little surprised I was only an ordinary human. It seems they sometimes take in strays and pilgrims. So which are you, she asked. Just a stray, says I. I'm not sure she believed me. Anyway, Dora and I spent some time talking while Fly negotiated with the storekeeper. I asked her about the stories of Joaquin's, told her a couple of them. She said they sounded true enough. She says she's been to the Divas complex. When I asked where it was, she said Fly would show me when I was ready. Ready for what, I asked. To ask your question, she said, as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. Then she walked off, smiling mysteriously. I don't have a question. I don't even flippin' know that Divas were real. Still don't. Just the word of a stranger. Well, and Joaquin, he believed. So what would you ask? We're joining a small caravan traveling south along the mountains. Dora is leading them, and they seem happy for the company. Love, Peter. (15 January 2433). Dear Serena, I learned more about those internal affairs Fly alluded to when I first met Zir, and why the caravan was so happy to have us along with them. We encountered another group of Furies, these being less friendly than my present company. They were blocking the road and demanding supplies in exchange for passage. All supplies. Thought it was funny to offer to let us go with our lives. They didn't realize the Scorpion had swung out wide to flank them when Fly spotted their setup. Z had the most flippant sharp vision I've ever encountered. I had to use a scope on his sniper rifle to try the travelers load me. Crazy. Anyway, Fly goes down to talk to him all nice while I stay back with the civilians. My job is to keep them from panicking and shooting the wrong Furies. So I ease them back up the road a bit, settle down with the scope to watch the show. The Rock is sweeping the road for mines while Fly talks. The other team is looking all human with the palest skin I've ever seen. I think they're some of the ghost hunters, those vicious assassins that nearly took down the Chinese government in '62. I thought they'd all been killed, but after meeting Fly, I'm thinking there's a lot about the Furies we weren't told. So Scorpion comes around on their left flank and shoots off volleys of poison grenades. I try to keep my scope on Fly, but he moves so fast that he's just a blur in the red cloud of toxins. I did catch one of the ghosts in one of the snow sneaking up behind Fly, and I gently squeezed the trigger, taking off the luckless's head. It's over in seconds. The next of the 3 other ghosts snapped, and 2 convulsed from poison. The Furies buried their dead in a bonfire that night. They grieved their dead, even the bad ones. As we watch the flames, Fly comes, sits beside me, mutters something about internal affairs. I offer Zir some of the whiskey I bought off the travelers. I think that homebrew was whiskey, too smooth for moonshine. No more words that night, just comfortable companionship. We're just glad to still be alive. Stay safe. Love, Vitor. 17 January 2433. Dear Serena, turns out Fly's preferred pronoun is male. He's more human than I would have imagined. Said he's second gen and was shaped by the divas, not the mad scientist. Not sure how I feel about one mad scientist tinkering with the experiments and it didn't matter scientist. But Fly is, if not spotless, at least sound, maybe as spotless as a Fury can be. Stay safe, little sister. Love, Vitor. 21 March 2433. Dear Serena, sometimes I look around to find Fly staring at me, through me even. Sends chills through me. Then Fly will just grin and move on. It's more disturbing when I wake up in the night finding doing that staring thing. Kind of hard to go back to sleep when he grins like that. I guess I still pass muster. Dora asked me what my question was. I told her I still didn't have one, and she just frowned and gave Fly a funny look. Fly shrugged and said it was time. Dora didn't seem convinced. I'm not so sure myself. We'll arrive in Taos tomorrow. Joaquin swore it was the heart of the Diva Network. Still don't know what I'm seeking, but I feel this hope that maybe, just maybe, I'll find it there. I feel that anticipation I always felt when Joaquin was coming back from an afternoon or day apart. Stay safe, little sister. Love, Vitor. 22 March 2434. Dear Serena, so much has happened in the last year. I meant to write, but the words just didn't come to me. I know nothing that could describe what I've been through. It has been amazing. The desert changes people. These mountains, this town, it transforms people. When we arrived in Taos last year, Fly took me to the well at the center of town. It's an old adobe structure built way back when the Spanish came. It's been painted in bright colors with symbols. I didn't recognize too many of them. Fly says they represent philosophies and religions from around the world. Fly tapped on the side and called down into the well. An aquatic figure rose up. It looked human, but was translucent and definitely made of water. Their name is Awem, and he asked me why I'd come. That's when it hit me. I did have a question. Why? Why is the world like this? Why did Joaquin have to die? Awem's answer startled me. It was long and elegant. I don't remember most of it, but it seemed a complicated review of history. Pictures flashed to my mind of things I know I've never seen. But I came away with this hope that we can be so much more than this, a sense of all the best humanity can offer, as well as the depths of cruelty we are capable of. We are the Furies and Divas. They are reflections of our nature. Well, that's a pretty poor summary. That's the best I can do for now. The sun had set, the stars were bright in the sky when Owen finished and dropped back down into the well. Floyd took me to his rooms and we talked until dawn. Then he said I could stay if I wanted. Fly is one of the guardians. He said we'd be a good match. It's good to be part of a team again. Few of us come, fewer stay. I'll be staying though. I understand now why I was drawn here. I can be a part of this place and help protect our collective heritage from ourselves. That's why Owen and the Divas exist, why the Furies exist. Maybe someday I'll come home to visit you. Until then, no, I am at peace. May you find peace as well, little sister. Be happy. Love, Edith.